I think the difference between a hero and a villain is just where they aim their pain. That's it. It's not morality. It's not how they were raised. It's not even what they were meant to do. It's just the direction of their pain. See, pain doesn't care what you do with it. It just shows up. And then it waits and sees where you send it. You ever been hungry? Not that I could eat hungry, like really hungry. The kind where you start acting like somebody else. You're so hungry, you snap at people, you get impatient, you say things that don't even sound like you. Same person, same brain, same day, just running on empty. We call that hangry. Now take that feeling and make it emotional. Someone lies to you. Somebody leaves you. Someone disrespects you. They forget you exist. They pick someone else over you. That same energy shows up. And now you got options. You could aim that pain inward, feel it, sit with it, figure it out, find out where it came from, maybe even use it to understand other people going through the same thing. And then people will look at you and say, they're so strong. They turn that into something good. They're one of the good ones. Same pain, different direction. Or you take that pain and you aim it outwards. You get cold, you get sharp. You make sure nobody ever gets close enough to do that pain to you again. And somewhere along the line, you start hurting people. And it's not always on purpose, but you still passed it on. And now you're the villain in somebody else's story. Same pain, just pointed somewhere else. So here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most of us have done both. We've all had moments where we took the hit and turned it into something. And we've all had those same moments where we made somebody else take the hit for us instead. There's no opting out of that. No clean hand. You're not just a hero. You're not just a villain. You're a person, depending on the day, with different amounts left in your tank. It's called capacity, and we don't pay enough attention to it. We judge people at their worst without ever asking what they had left in their tank. And it gets messier than that, because it's not just heroes and villains. It's being the hero in your story while being the villain in somebody else's, all at the same time. There are people out there who have a whole version of the story where I'm the bad guy, and the thing is, when I think back to those same moments, I remember them totally different. See, to me, I was protecting myself, finally drawing a line, a boundary, finally choosing me for once. But to them, I went cold. I ghosted. I said something rude. I made them feel like they didn't matter. And the honest answer is both of those things are true. Same moment, same me, two completely different experiences. I wasn't lying when I said I was protecting myself, enforcing a boundary. And they weren't lying when they said the way that I did that hurt them. And if I go even further, there were moments where I knew exactly what I was doing. I could see how this was going to land, and I did it anyways. And that's not because I'm a bad person. This was just because in that moment, it felt like I had no other choice. That pain had to move. It had to go somewhere. And I chose somewhere, anywhere, just to get it out of me. That's the hard part. Not that you got hurt. Not even that you hurt somebody back, but that sometimes you knew. You set a boundary. It feels like growth to you. It feels like you changed to them. You leave a relationship. It feels like self-respect to you. It feels like abandonment to them. You tell the truth. It feels like honesty to you. It feels like they got exposed. Same thing, two completely different stories. And this is where the whole hero-villain idea falls apart. Because when we want it to be simple, when we want a clear answer, a record somewhere, somebody to tell us who was right, but it doesn't work because heroes and villains aren't real categories. They're just POVs. Who's telling the story? Whose story is being told? And once you get that, you can't unget that. And you start looking at your own life differently. You realize somebody out there has a story about you where you were the villain, and you might not even remember the moment. You said something you forgot about, you didn't show up, you moved on faster than they expected, you fully glossed over something important they just shared, you didn't try hard enough, or you tried too hard, you stayed too long, you left too soon. In your story, you were doing your best. In their story, you were the problem. And neither of you are wrong enough to dismiss it, or right enough to feel clean about it. And I understand why people want to check out of this, because we want villains to look like villains. We want them to be obviously different from us, broken in ways we're not, doing things we would never do. But most of the people that are causing damage, they don't think they're causing damage. They just think they got pushed too far. They think that they had no choice. They think they were just protecting themselves. They're not thinking, let me be the bad guy today. They're thinking, this is what I had to do. That doesn't make it okay. It doesn't excuse it, but it does explain it. You see this every time something bad happens to someone and they come out the other side. Everybody starts guessing. This is going to humble them. This is going to change them. They're going to come out so much better. But pain doesn't work like that. Pain doesn't transform us. It reveals us. It takes away the extra stuff and leaves more of what was already there. If you were already generous, you will come out wanting to give more. If you were already guarded, you come out with higher walls. If you're already convinced you're right, you come out more convinced. Pain doesn't install something new. It just turns up the volume on what's already playing. It just makes you louder, more of whatever you already were. And if you're honest with yourself, you can see both of those in your own life. Moments where getting hurt made you softer, where you helped somebody because you knew the feeling, and moments where you wanted somebody else to feel exactly what you felt. Not forever, just enough, just so they know. You see, a while back, I reached out to a friend and told him I was going through a tough time. And I said I would love to talk to them about it when they had time. And they said they'd call me this week. That was 3 weeks ago. Nothing. So when I'm tired, hungry, sleeping, I start to resent them. Question if they were ever my friend. Think about if something bad happened to me right now, how guilty they'd feel knowing that they didn't show up for me. But when I'm well rested, had some water, had some food, I realize they're a flawed human being just like me. Overwhelmed with life, busy, and it's easy to lose track of stuff. I do it all the time. And maybe that's what what most of this is. Emotional hunger. People running on empty, trying not to snap at whoever's closest. Some of us catch it, some of us don't. And that's the part nobody wants to admit, because the second you admit it, you don't get to call yourself one of the good ones anymore. Just someone trying not to do damage, and sometimes still doing it anyways. And if you really sit with that, it stings a little, because it means you're not just somebody that things happen to, you're also somebody that happened to other people, on purpose or not. There's no version of growing up where you get to skip that part. You just get to decide how long you let it go before you catch it. So it's not really about, am I a hero or am I a villain? It's just, where is this pain going right now? Most of what we call being a good person is just catching ourselves early, because the same pain that builds us up can tear somebody else down. The same experience that opens you can close you off. The same thing that makes you more human can make you harder. And maybe that's most of this. This emotional hunger, people running on empty, trying not to snap at whoever's closest. Some of us catch it, some of us don't. So maybe our goal isn't to be the hero. Maybe it's just to be someone who practices noticing where their pain is headed, and reduce how often it lands somewhere they can't take it back. That's it. No permanent solution, no finish line. Just keep watching, catch it when you can, miss it sometimes, clean it up when you do. You're not above it, none of us are. We're in it like everybody else. And maybe that's okay.